And welcome back to the third and final commentated round of Standard here at GameSwap in idyllic Mason, Ohio. On the left, we have Kevin Cranstoun playing Grixis Control. And on the right, we have Luke Browning playing Red Deck Wins. Sometimes. Not always.
Is that what we're calling it now?
That's what he's calling it.
Someone needs to let him know if you're playing Ramen Up Ruins.
Yeah.
It's Ramen Up Red.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, the deck wouldn't even be a deck without that card.
No.
No way.
Nah.
No way. But that's all right. He'll figure it out sooner or later.
Yeah.
You know. Apparently he's relatively new.
Absolutely.
And still learning, so...
This is the... I mean, I played Mono Red, you know, when I first started out.
Yeah.
I think we all play some sort of, you know, simple aggro deck when we're first starting out
I
in
mean,
competitive Magic.
Some of the most successful old-school PTQ runs that I had were with various Mono Red decks.
Yeah.
The original version of Sly
Mm-hmm.
with Cursed Scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Cursed Scroll.
I loved that card. I mean, just the dirty things you could do to people with it.
What do you think the comparative power level is from Cursed Scroll to Hazoret the Fervent?
They're different cards.
They are absolutely
You
different
know,
card, but what I'm saying is they slide into the same deck. What do you think the power level is in comparison to Hazoret?
I think, well, so you've got, I mean, it depends on what kind of surgery you're wanting to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Hazoret is a blunt instrument.
Yeah.
And Cursed Scroll was a precision scalpel. It really, I mean, okay, so yeah, Luke on the play here.
Ideal.
Yeah, the control deck already on the back foot.
Yeah.
Luke with the 1-drop into 2-drop.
Ooh.
Main phase Fatal Push. I don't know what we're gaining by main phasing it. I don't know what we're losing by main phasing it either.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's Cursed Scroll. Now here's the deal. Okay, name a card, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a card that you actually have in your hand.
Okay.
So if for some reason you're in the market to convince the player that you're playing against that you do have a card in your hand, you just activate your Cursed Scroll and name that card. And as long as you've got more than one card in your hand, they're pretty convinced that you've got that card. Yeah. Now you see where I'm coming from?
No, I see it. I see that.
Yeah, you could just bob and weave and juke the absolute crap out of people with that card. Seriously. Now, is Mono Red, does it tend to be the kind of deck that is wanting to play those kinds of games?
No.
Not in the modern era, but I tell you what, back then, yeah. Yeah.
But this type of card was played in more than Mono Red. Wasn't it played in Mono Black and things of that nature as well?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any aggro. I mean, it's like a
The most versatile aggro card.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's a 1-drop artifact. It costs colorless mana to
There we
activate,
go.
and it's damage for free.
God, I love that border.
Right. And I mean, it was just that was glorious. I loved playing with that card. I really did.
You still have your Cursed Scrolls?
I don't. You know, I sold my collection in 2000. I quite honestly thought that Magic was not in a great place, and that it might be on the way out. And you know, I mean, a lot of people that I've talked to, that I've told that story to, that were playing at that time, agree with me. You know, that I had a legitimate point.
Yeah.
And so I thought, you know, I'm going to get out while the getting's good.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Force of Will was my favorite card. Right? Had a stack about, the size of a paperback novel of them. Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, I was the guy that would go around to all the stores locally and buy every single copy of that card that I could.
Yeah.
Right? Because I didn't want anybody else to have it.
Can't do that now.
No.
Game's not that cheap anymore.
No. But yeah, I mean, you could get them for a quarter a piece back then. Oh, yeah. So when you would draft Tempest, Wasteland would consistently be the last card in the pack. I mean, and there was nothing in...
It was just chaff.
There was nothing in the limited format that you wanted to Wasteland.
Yeah.
What you could possibly Wasteland were rares.
Yeah.
Why would you ever waste a draft pick on Wasteland?
Yeah.
So you'd get past one of those, rip it in half, toss it over your shoulder. I used to use Wastelands as proxies and write on the face of them because they stood out. and you know, it would be more obvious to me when I was doing testing and whatnot with proxies that I had a proxy in my hand.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. So yeah, so Luke puts it away real quick. Surprise, surprise. In other news, water's wet. Grass is some variant of green, and the sky is usually blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that.
Well, again, we knew this going into this format, that mono red would still be a deck, and that control would still have a problem against it. We are not shocked here.
Right, right. So the question is, what's Kevin going to do about this problem? Obviously, he has access to cards like Sweltering Suns. Perhaps he ups the count of 1-mana removal spells like Magma Spray.
Does he play some number of Doomfall to get rid of Hazoret?
Tune in to find out.
I mean,
your guess is as good as mine.
I did notice he was playing the River Ipulate, whatever, the blue one, that Pain land, the mono blue Pain land that can mill.
They can mill.
And he's playing If Near Deadlands as well.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that in a 3-color deck.
I would tend to agree with that. You know, Kevin is a man. I've known this guy for a while now, since I came back to Magic and started playing here at GameSwap. He likes his brews. He bucks conventional wisdom as habit. You know, so he's going to do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
More than likely, and you can tap the deserts for colorless mana, so you're not always taking pain.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But yes, there's more stress on your mana base in a 3-color deck. Certainly.
Absolutely.
You know, my guess is that the number of deserts in his deck are there exclusively to support the Deadlands.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
You know, he's not looking to mill somebody out. Although conveniently, you can get into these control mirrors where that's a thing.
Absolutely.
You know.
And that's perfectly reasonable, but you do feel the effects of those types of lands in this matchup.
Especially in a matchup like
this. And we witnessed that.
Yeah.
We witnessed that.
He was just helping Luke out.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, "Oh, buddy, you're new to the game. Here, I'll take a few free damage for you. You know, just help you out a little bit."
Yeah. Now, I mean, Grixis Control has gained a lot in the ways of its mana base between Drown Catacomb and Dragon Skull Summit, excuse me. But at the same time, you can only play so many of those without affecting your mana base.
Exactly.
I mean, you do play them in conjunction with Canyon Slough.
Slew. It's actually pronounced Slew.
Slew.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until somebody told me.
And what is the blue-black one? It is Fetid Pools.
Fetid Pools.
Yeah.
Yep. Or feeted pools. I'm not really sure. I mean, pools don't have feet.
No.
You know, so how they could be feeded, I have no idea.
No.
so you know, I mean, you've got bathtubs with feet. Of course, those are called footed.
Catching flack for my Southern Ohio accent here.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
I went to a public school with a graduating class of '68, sir. I was not.
Yep. Finished your math homework and went out and slopped the pigs.
I did grow up on a farm. You're not far off from.
Hey, I guessed right.
For those of you at home not aware, I am actually wearing my coveralls and my cowgirl boots right now. So.
Straw hat. Yep. Has a piece of dried grass in his mouth. Yep.
I hadn't even seen a computer until last year.
The internet.
What's that?
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off the same way. Soulscar Mage. I'm willing to bet Luke has a 2-drop.
And Kevin's land, importantly, came into play tapped, so even if he had the 1-mana removal spell, he couldn't cast it on time.
Yep.
To maintain tempo.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the problem with the mana base and what we're talking about here is what has really helped Blue-White approach be, at least to this point, the premier control deck in the format, is that the mana is just very consistent.
Yeah.
You're not playing any pain lands of any sort. Well, I don't know. There might be like one or two of those rivulets in there, or rivnets, or the thing that mills.
Yeah.
But by and large, your mana is very consistent. Comes into play untapped. You're playing on time.
Yeah.
Grixis control would probably be in a better place if the blue-black land and the red-black land were the fast lands.
Yeah.
And the off-color land, the blue-red land, was one of these, needs a basic land to come into play on tap lands.
Okay. So you're talking about Sulphur Falls.
No, I mean if it was Dark Slick Shores.
Yeah.
And Blackcleave Cliffs.
Okay.
Instead of Spire Bluff Canal being the only fast land available to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it could more consistently have dual lands coming into play untapped on turn 1.
Yeah.
Particularly if 2 of those are producing black mana.
Okay.
Since we're looking to cast Fatal Push as consistently as possible on turn 1. So Luke smartly has stayed on the go under plan.
Yeah.
He may have the mid-range plan in his sideboard.
Yeah.
The question is, honestly, as a newer player, would he know when to utilize that plan and when not to?
Okay. Yeah. He's main phasing a lightning strike here, as opposed to waiting on his opponent's turn.
Right.
He just wants to get him as dead as quickly as possible.
Sure. Well, he was main phasing to get those prowess triggers as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Kevin down to 2. It's not looking good for Team Blue here.
Nope.
And game, set, and match.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's going to be it.
Mono Red does its thing.
Indeed it does. And that is prey on the control decks.
Yep.
Especially the 3-color control decks with deserts in there.
Yeah. And a lot of come into play tap lands.
Yep.
3 mana removal spells a little slow against 1 and 2 drops with haste.
Sure. And Kevin's deck seems better positioned for a format where Ripjaw Raptor is one of the premier threats. Early on, in thinking about the format and looking at a card like Ripjaw Raptor, I'm thinking from a position of how am I going to remove that without giving my opponent value.
Yeah.
A card like Unlicensed Disintegration is one of the first things that comes to mind.
Okay.
So that may be what Kevin is looking at.
Okay.
What he's expecting.
Mid-rangey, large-bodied creatures that aren't low to the ground.
Yeah. That may be a position to take after the next set.
Okay.
When Dinosaurs gets fleshed out a little bit more.
So you're saying like how we were talking about with Zombies last set being good against Mono Red, and the fact that it takes a slightly slower plan.
1 step bigger.
But 1 step bigger.
Yep. Exactly.
Dinosaurs does the same thing.
Right, but it's 2 steps bigger.
2 steps bigger. A turn slower. Worse against cards like Unlicensed Disintegration and Supreme Will.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. So yeah, if your local metagame is flush with mid-range decks, with people that are really, really keen to play a 4-mana 4/5 that lets them draw a card when it takes damage, then something like Grixis Control might be what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And you get to play footed pools.
We need to draw a foot on that.
Right. If you're expecting a lot of mono red, a lot of Ramanap red in your metagame for whatever tournament you're preparing for, I don't think Grixis is where you want to be looking.
No, I think then you need to take a step back and go towards those green-black X decks.
Indeed, that are 1 step bigger.
Yep, exactly.
Yep, exactly. All right. Well, it has been real, and it has been fun. And because my good buddy Zach West has been here by my side for these 3 rounds, it's been real fun. So, we'd like to take this time to thank you all for tuning in here Wednesday Night Standard on Top Deck Productions. As a friendly reminder, if you like what you saw and want to help make it even better, we have a Patreon.
You can.
Yeah. So check out the Patreon at patreon.com/topdeckproductions. And again, this is a not-for-profit venture at this point, so every dollar goes right back in to improve the quality of the stream. Don't forget you can subscribe right here on Twitch. Just smash it.
Yep.
Smash that subscribe button. And here's the kicker. If you have Amazon Prime already, because of the free shipping, because of the Amazon Prime specials, because of the fact that they have some exclusive entertainment content now,
and the fact that Amazon's going to take over the world, so
them,
you want to get on that
Google.
train.
Yeah, them and Google.
Yeah.
You can use your free monthly Twitch subscription right here on Top Deck Productions if you so choose. And for all you guys out there that already donate and subscribe and support the stream and everything, thank you very much.
Yeah.
We appreciate you and the support. And for those of you guys that don't, well, what are you waiting for? So that's going to be it.
Hop in the footed pools tub.
The footed pools. All right. Probably... No, yeah, that was going to be a really bad joke. I'm not going to even go there. So, yeah, that's going to be it. Final commentated round of Standard here on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
It's been great. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Hopefully, well, I'll see you next week, and hopefully Zach will too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out.